Blizzard announced some Retribution Paladin nerfs, and I can't fathom why Rep Paladins would get any changes, but they are. These are the changes. So these are the class tuning incoming on March 28th, okay? So in patch 10.7, we made some changes to several classes to address issues we saw with itemization or talent trees. Game data since patch went live has shown that certain specs are overperforming. So with scheduled weekly maintenance on March 28th, we'll make the changes listed below. Death Knight, Frost, all ability damage reduced by 3%. Frost DK's got some damage nerfs. This is all PV stuff, right? Like Hunters, Beastmaster, Kill Command damage reduced by 10%. Marksmanship, all ability and pet damage reduced by 4%. Mongoose Bite reduced by 10%. Warlock, so they did some Warlock changes. We're modifying the output of Grimoire Sacrifice to bring it in line with the output of Warlock Demons. At the end of the day, Warlock is a pet-centric class, and we want there to be an option to opt out of your pet. We don't want it to always be the clear answer. Okay. Wrathful Minion now increases damage of Grimoire Sacrifice by 10%. Demonic Inspiration now increases the damage of Grimoire Sacrifice by 10%. Grimoire Sacrifice damage reduced by 15%. That's interesting. So you can, it's like an option to play with the pet now. With the removal of less impactful talents in both their class and specific tree, Affliction received a lot of additional damage options that have increased their damage beyond what was intended. Okay, we're making these adjustments to bring them in line with it. So Affliction Warlock's getting some nerfs damage. All their damage is getting nerfed by 2%, kind of minor. And then Dark Lair damage is reduced by 20%. We're targeting Demonology's multi-target profile with these adjustments to bring them closer to other people's damage or other damage dealers. We will continue to watch both single target and multi-target performance along with the output of new talents. Demonic Strength now increases damage of Fellstorm by 300%, so they nerf Demonic Strength, and Dreadbite damage reduced by 10%. So Demo got a little bit of consistent damage nerf. Affliction got some consistent damage, very minor, as well as Dark Lair Burst. Okay. So here are, I wouldn't even say these are controversial changes. I mean, it depends on who you ask. It's a lot of changes. I've been talking to a bunch of people before I read these out. I've been messaging like high-rated rets and asking them, you know, how they feel about these changes. I've been thinking about these changes. And firstly, I want to say, you know, as many as you guys think that all I do is complain about rets and that I just hate rets, it's actually not true. I complain about everyone, including mages. When mages are broken, when fire mages are OP, when fire mages are tanky, when glacial shot is glacial spike is one-shotting, when evokers are one-shotting, believe me, I get feedback. I complain about it. I just want the game to be fun. Ret Paladins in their current form, absolutely not fun. And if you think that I'm the one that caused these changes, when you have an outpour from the entire community, every rank 1 ret in the entire game is telling everyone that, yo, this needs nerfs. This is crazy. You have people that are 1,600. Now they're 2,500 on Ret Paladin, literally gaining 1,200 rating in a single day playing Ret Paladin. It literally all you're fighting all day, every day is just Ret Paladin, 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 over and over and over and over. Of course it's going to get nerfed. Of course it's going to get nerfed, okay? Now, what I've heard from a lot of Ret Paladins is that they want to remain tanky. And I still think Ret Paladins are going to be super tanky. And I think Ret Paladins, honestly, I think there's a good chance that they're still S tier, maybe A tier, but I swear Ret Paladins, I would be absolutely blown away if Ret Paladins were not good after these changes. I think they're still going to be absolutely crazy with the rework and these changes in mind. I mean, obviously it's hard to say, but in terms of their defense, first of all, let's just go over the changes. Crusaders Reprieve healing reduced by 50% in PvP combat. Judgment of light healing reduced by 35% for protection paladins. Okay. Retribution paladins have been heavily overperforming PvP with the recent 10.07 changes for primarily targeting their burst damage, passive survivability, and PvP talents that we feel are contributing too much overall damage. Judgment of light healing reduced by 35%. Wizard's Ire effectiveness reduced by 40%. Fading light effectiveness reduced by 75%. So this right here is the passive healing, and this is the one. I think this could just go to 0. I personally am not a fan of just passive healing in general. I don't think it's good for the game. I don't think you should auto attack and heal yourself, or just do damage and heal yourself. I'm just not a fan of those type of mechanics. I know warlocks have some of it. There's certain classes that have it, but I just don't think ret, especially with how many external cooldowns, like I think this changes. It's a good change, and I'm pretty sure we're looking at this changes. That's the only defensives that's ret is getting nerfed. So I was thinking about it. So if you guys think that Rets are gonna just like fall over dead, I was having like a little bit of a debate with Absturge because he's not sure. So correct me if I'm wrong, feel free, but Ret Paladin's Flash of Light proc didn't get changed at all, right? Their Flash of Light proc didn't get changed at all, so that's still crazy good. Flash of Light is 1/3 the cooldown of Expel Harm, and also heals for 3 times as much. So that's their instant healing. Bubble didn't get touched. Magic, Bop didn't get touched. Bop didn't get touched. Shield of Vengeance didn't get touched. Their 30% damage reduction on a 1-minute CD didn't get touched. Their Blessing of Sanctuary, where they can remove stuns and fears from people, didn't get touched. Their Sacrifice didn't get touched. And Rets still have like a bunch of tanky, passive tanky things in their tree, right? Like I'm pretty sure Rets have 20% bonus stamina. They have the damage reduction passive from Blessing of Dusk. Like they're still going to be tanky. I'm not saying that they shouldn't have those things. I'm just saying Rets defense is still going to be exceptionally good. It's going to be really, 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 really good. The issue wasn't the passive healing, it was the damage reduction. I mean, yeah, well, I guess we'll have to wait and see. But that's why I still think Rets are going to be insane, because basically none of their defense got nerfed except this. Anyways, Jessica's Vengeance now deals 15% additional damage to stun targets in PvP. So they still do more damage with it on stuns. Jessica's Vengeance healing is reduced by 50%. I don't know how much of their healing is Jessica's Vengeance, so I guess that's another defense. But I don't think I don't know. We'll have to wait and see, but I don't think that's a huge deal. I think it's like decent healing. Blessing of the Dawn effectiveness reduced by 25% for Retribution Paladins. Divine Arbiter direct damage reduced by 25%. Vanguard of Justice effectiveness reduced by 25%. Empyrean Legacy increases the damage of Divine Storm by 15%, was 25%. Luminescence now increases damage and healing by 2%, was 4%. Lawbringer PP talent now deals 2% of maximum health, was 4%. And Fixed an Issue. So this is really weird, but Wings has been bugged. Wings is bugged for all of the expansion. I didn't realize that. Did anybody expect, like... So apparently, I think this came in Shadowlands, where they reduced the effectiveness of Avenging Wrath by 25% in PvP to 75%. And that just was bugged all of this whole expansion. So Wings is supposed to be nerfed and wasn't, which is pretty crazy to think about. Makes me wonder how many other like random unintended bugs are in the game. But when I was talking to Rets, like when I was speaking with a lot of Rets on Twitter, there's a lot of people that have, left comments in my videos and, wrote forum posts and messaged me on Twitter and messaged me in game and come to my stream, and, some more reasonable than others. But one thing that I think a lot of Rets wanted is they still want to have like that Ret identity of being a hybrid, being very tanky, having a lot of defensive options for their team and utility, and Rets literally kept all of that, like all of it. So I think Rets are going to be pretty good. I think their damage will still be strong. It's just hopefully not going to be as ridiculous where literally anyone just logs on to Ret and just farms everybody. But like I said, guys, nobody loves Ret Paladins more than me, and I want them to still be good and strong, but I don't want them to totally take over every other. They basically, Rets in their current form without these nerfs quite literally make every other class in the game obsolete. All right, this is the Ret nerfs, guys. Are Rets dead? Wow.